Someone recently asked me about evangelism. Not so much what it is, but how to do it and how to equip your people to do it and how to get them involved in doing it. So I want to read a couple of Google generated definitions of evangelism. The spreading of the Christian gospel by public preaching or personal witness. And I agree with that. In Christianity, evangelism is the act of preaching the gospel with the intention of sharing the message and the teachings of Jesus Christ. And again, I agree with that. What these two definitions do not tell us is how to do it. It tells us what it is, but not how to do it. And so I would encourage you to take the how and have fun and be creative and give something that's fresh and new and different and exciting and something that meets the needs of the people that you're evangelizing to. There used to be a time where evangelism was, Sunday morning preaching, Sunday night preaching, Wednesday night preaching, door to door. You just knock on a door and start to share the gospel. And standing on a street corner with signs and megaphones and sound systems. And those have kind of gone away, the door to door and the standing on street corners. And to be truthful, I don't know how effective they were, and here's why. The majority of the time, the people that knock on your door, the people that are standing on the street corner, are doing it in a very judgmental, condemning, no grace, no mercy, no forgiveness, condemning you to hell, hellfire, damnation, kind of very negative approach to evangelism. And you never saw Jesus preach and teach from a negative viewpoint. And so I want to encourage you to be creative in how you evangelize. Be fun with how that happens. Encourage your people to be a part of it. Include them. Let them be creative in how that happens and plays out. And the foundational block that you need to build upon is one of relationship. I do not think that Christianity is a religion. Christianity is a relationship. First and foremost, it's a relationship with your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And you're called to be in relationship with people, with others around you. Love God and love others. That's the basics of Christianity. And so I just want to share a little bit of the fun, creative ways that we're doing evangelism here in Eastern Kentucky. So here, where our church is located, we sit right between a commercial and a residential area. I mean, our church is kind of that invisible line. And so in front of our church, we have all these businesses. And then behind our church, we've got this neighborhood. It's like 170 houses. I drove through the neighborhood one time and counted them and wrote down all of the addresses. And so our mantra is your neighborhood church. And so we very specifically target this neighborhood behind us. And so some of the cool ways that we do evangelism, of course, we have Sunday morning worship and I preach the gospel. And we have Sunday night youth group and I preach the gospel to the kids. And we have a Sunday morning kids church and we have a Tuesday morning women's Bible study. And we have some other things that happen in the life of the church. And those are really for people who are inside the walls of the church. But how do we reach those outside of the walls? And again, building on this relational building block. And it's got to be, the long game. It's going to take some time. And so the first thing, you just got to introduce yourself and be relational with people. And so our church, we have 14 acres. And so we have a lot of land. And so our church does a Easter egg hunt. It's called Totally Cracked, and it's open to really the whole county, the whole community. But we specifically invite our neighborhood. They get a personal invitation inviting them to bring their kids and their grandkids to our egg hunt. And not only bring your kids and grandkids to the egg hunt, but we tell them our Easter schedule. So we talk about Palm Sunday and Easter Sunday. And in the fall, we do this trunk or treat. And This year we had like 7 other churches and ministries involved, and we opened it up to our whole community, and the place was packed out in our parking lot. But again, specifically, we invited those 170 homes that sit right behind us. And again, not only to trunk or treat, but to church the next day. And we put an invitation in every kid's bag. We did church on the lawn, and we brought in a flatbed trailer, and we set up canopies, and we had a gospel trio show up, and we had church right there in our green space, and people were sitting in lawn chairs. And then after that, we had a carry-in dinner, and then this gospel trio, this bluegrass gospel trio, did a full-blown concert. And again, it was open to the community, but we specifically targeted those 170 homes and said, hey, come to church, stay for lunch, stay for the concert. And I've specifically invited them to enjoy our campus, to walk and run laps on our property, and to use our playground, and they can walk their dogs, and they can use our pavilion, and we want them to be using our property. We want to partner with them. And all those things are done just to build relationships. And so when we have Totally Cracked or our trunk or treat, I make sure that I have people from the church who are just here to engage people in relationships and conversations. And then again, that long game, that slow process, we start to invite them to church. We invite them to come to Sunday morning or Wednesday night, and then we start to share the gospel with them. But those relationships that started in the parking lot during trunk or treat, those relationships continue. And so evangelism is starting on the one-on-one relational, but then is continuing in the morning worship. And so I say all that to say this. When it comes to evangelism, take whatever you know and chuck it out the window, and rewrite the rules. Look at your neighborhood, look at your culture, look at your community, look at your people, look at the needs that they have, look at the resources that you have, the people in your church, and be creative and come up with really cool, fun ways to evangelize, to engage in relationships, and to lead people and invite people into a relationship with Jesus Christ. Hey, keep your eyes wide open for ways to evangelize to people. Hey, I love you. So does Jesus. I'll see you next time.